Hi, welcome to Griff Burns Books. I'm Griff. This is my poem, The Hospital Gorilla Guy's Glory. Thank you for joining us. In Al-Kut, the mission was to deliver hospital supplies. We were in high-back Humvees, plenty of firepower to escort 7 tons. This gorilla guy delivered so many hospital things. A crowd of kids and women began to come see. One brave boy approached me. Mister, as he touched my armored flak. Is this you, he inquired of me. I didn't want to be misunderstood. We are all human too. I ripped open my flak, exposing my sweat-covered chest. This is me. I began to beat my chest like King Kong, screaming like Tarzan. The brave boy started to mimic me. It was the end of a long day. Hospital supplies delivered. Mission accomplished. But now I had a fan club of Iraqi Tarzan children, a large group following our exit, pounding their chest, screaming and smiling as they mimicked me. They will grow up to become our enemy, my lieutenant told me. We are all human. That is my glory. That's my poem, The Hospital Gorilla Guy's Glory. I wrote that a few years ago, just kind of describing an experience I had in, it was probably April-ish, maybe June-ish of 2003 in Al-Kut, Iraq. Long story short, we were on a small just escort delivering hospital supplies to the hospital in Al-Kut, and a young Iraqi boy approached me and we had that interaction. And it's something I have a lot of pride in with my service because it was me trying to put forth that effort for the hearts and minds that's so cliche and even mocked by our own community. But that's me, and that's lots more coming from right here. This is going to be dropping real soon. This is my story. It's about 99 poems. It's going to be titled Burned in Babylon. Look for it real soon. Put a lot of work into this. Like I said, about 10 years worth of writing and experience. 99 poems, 2 letters, and some biography about my story, which I think is cute. But onward and upward. This is Griff Burns Books. This is a Moonbeam production. Thank you for joining us. And as always, please follow, like, share. We love all the feedback. Today I'm going to be burning this bad boy. This is The Post-American World by Fareed Zakaria, and it's going to get very spicy, so stay tuned. So I read this book probably about a decade ago when I was studying history and international relations at the University of West Florida. I was aspiring to become maybe a diplomat. I thought maybe some of my experience, like I said in my poetry, might help me with that. Long story short, I'm not a diplomat. I'm here burning books for you, and I'm going to burn this bad boy right here. Fareed has an agenda. Him and his media cronies have a globalist agenda, and this is part of what's wrong with this book. This is a great book. It's well written. Fareed is an excellent author. Like I said, I read this book probably about a decade ago, and it has a political take and an angle to it that I didn't see prior to. So let's just dive right into this. Fareed's progressive stance on the world has the direction that this should be. But he doesn't want to acknowledge essentially the good things about America's influence in the world. The title is misleading. The Post-American World is about maybe the world we live in now, but it's misleading in that it doesn't want to give credit to America's influence on the global scene. And I don't want to get too high horse on American exceptionalism. That's not me. But Fareed Zakaria and media people like him could spend their influence a little bit better when addressing this dichotomy of America and globalization. So real quick, we'll get in here. One quote I like from this book is right here on page 8. War and organized violence have declined dramatically over the last 2 decades. Correct, sir. And this was published in 2008. And the reason why war and violence had dramatically decreased is why, again? So my issue with this stance is that it doesn't give enough credit where credit is due. It doesn't celebrate America's progressive values. It doesn't celebrate the civil rights movement. It frames globalization as like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It does not have to be that way. We can and will change things if we see fit. And Fareed needs to recognize that and his privileged position in that dichotomy, because he wasn't the one on the ground delivering hospital supplies in 2003, was he? So he could do a little bit more along with his side and his team to acknowledge men like me and the pain we feel when overzealous progressive policies are shoved down on us in 2020, because we read your book in 2008 and we understand and agree with you. Another quote from the book that I enjoyed was actually here, where Fareed does kind of give kudos and props to men like myself. Here he talks about, it is not the subject of this book, but I was in favor to oust Saddam Hussein. So what Fareed is talking about there in the subcontext of the book, and doesn't want to acknowledge in his main theme or his message, is that ousting Saddam Hussein was a noble thing to do. Maybe it wasn't framed in the right way. Maybe it wasn't addressed altruistically. And I'm more than willing to have those talks, those difficult talks with people who disagree with me, if we can agree on one thing: America's influence has benefited the global community. If we can't agree on that, don't talk to me about how we're going to oust dictators on the other side of the world. Got it? So to Fareed and some of his people, leftists, practice what you preach in 2020. That's all I'm asking. It's a good book. You don't have to read it. It's highfalutin. It's overly complex. There's lots and lots and lots of $100 words in here that I've already read. So the post-American world is thoroughly burned. We're done with that one. So here we go. On to the next. This is our next review topic: The Patriots by Winston Groom. So this book right here was given to me by Moonbeam for Christmas. I have not read this one yet. So this is me coming in with the intellectual heavyweight stuff. I haven't read this one yet. I don't have a jump start on it, and I'll review it next week for you, because I'll probably finish it tomorrow. So I hope you're ready, Winston Groom. Again, this is Griff Burns Books. Thank you for watching and enjoying. I'm going to read my poem, The Hospital Guerrilla Guy, again next week after some practice, so I can give it to y'all right. And just so you can see that my poetry still is a working in progress. I'm still polishing and improving on those things. Again, Griff Burns Books. This is a Moonbeam production. Follow, like, comment. It got real spicy with Fareed. Tell me what you think. Thank you.